Okay, and we're back for a new game today. So, visual novel today. So we finished Journey Fantasy 2. Well, I didn't not full completion. We just went for the main route, okay, the canon route, and I, it took quite a long. I mean, maybe 3 to 4 months, okay, and now we're starting with Steins Gate 0. Now I didn't spoil myself, well, except for the prologue, because we played Steins Gates, the visual novel, okay, so we know how it turns out. So this is the timeline, if I'm not mistaken, that Clarice is basically, she sacrificed herself to save Mayuri, and Mayushi? Well, Mayuri or Mayushi? Well, Mayushi is the nickname, but either say she saved herself to save her. And this is another world line, but remember, this Okabe, he basically, in a sense, he basically planned out the idea, okay? Like he controlled the present day Okabe by sending Amane back, okay? So a lot of things worked out. He planned it out, okay? And even to the present day Okabe doesn't like it, but he see the end justify the means, okay? So even if you go through a lot, they get a happy ending. So this is the world line where thing doesn't go into plan, okay? So in other words, he lost her. So with that said, let's check it out. Like I say, I didn't know what happened. I didn't watch the anime. Let's see how it goes. Kuritsu. Oh, so we started from here. It started from here. .12. The hatch opened. Bright light flooded my eyes. Where was I? My eyes narrowed. I could barely make out the summer twilight sky. Give me a second. Actually, I haven't. Okay, go to config. I want to play around with the transparency. Can't. One thing that I always do is that I will always make it transparent, Well, at least semi-transparent. I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to disappear. But someone grabbed my arm and dragged me out. I didn't have the energy to respond to my nickname. I fell to the ground and wrapped my arms around myself. Give me a second. I want to speed it up a bit. It feels a bit too slow. its speed around this much. Marie ran to me and looked down, her face worried. But her kindness felt like nothing but nuisance. Don't talk to me. Just leave me alone.
おかりん血まみれじゃん。どうしたん？
父さん、タオルと水、あと服も今すぐ手に入れてきて。
どういうことか説明プリーズ。
いいから早く。
わかったお。
Daru ran to the door and that lead back inside the
おか
building.
りん、大丈夫？しっかりして、死なないで。大丈夫。怪我してるわけじゃないよ。
Then, just get away from me. Leave me alone. I couldn't save her. In fact, I killed her myself. Right here, 3 weeks ago. I killed her. I'm a murderer.
無駄だったんだ。何をやっても無駄だ。
Wait. Is he gonna get a call from
全
himself?
部決まってしまっていることなんだよ。同じだ。マイルの時と同じなんだ。
ないよ。
どれだけもがいたって結果は同じになる。
No matter how many times I try, it will all convert back to the same result. The process doesn't matter. Whether you time travel or time leap, you can't go back and change the results of the past. I thought I understood that cruel truth. But now, I was forced to realize it again, and in the worst possible way.
無駄だよ。無駄なんだ。何もかも無駄なんだよ。俺はやっぱりクリスを助けられないんだ。
助けられるよ。
分かってた。分かってたんだ。こうなるって予想してたんだ。
いや、
もう疲れた。ずっと休んでないんだ。だからもういいよ。
Come on, get up! Ah. Wait, this is the point he gave up?
おかりん、一体何が。
俺が
是他。
俺が殺した。
是他。
殺してしまった。バカみたいだ。全部俺のせいだ。
マキセ・クリスをさ、刺し殺しちゃったんだ。殺した？
Come on!
嘘。
Tell him about the phone!
でも安
Check
心
the
して。
mail!
まだもう一回分タイムトラベルはできる。
ほっといてくれ。俺のことなんか何度やったって結果は同じだ。
何言ってんの？諦めるつもり？オカリンおじさんの肩には何十億っていう人の命がかかってるんだよ。たった一回の失敗が何だって言うんだ。
一回ではない。
どうやったって助けられない。世界線の収束には逆らえない。
That's the reality of this world. I learned that a long time ago.
こうなったらビンタしてでも気合い入れ直して。
Wait, this is the world line that she doesn't know about the phone.
妊娠するのは良くないよ。こんなボロボロになってるオカリン見てられないもん。 でもさ、このままじゃ未来を変えられない。どうして未来のことをオカリン一人に押し付けるの？そんなの重すぎるよ。オカリンおじさんには世界の観測者としての能力があるからだよ。オカリンが望んだわけじゃないのに。それにもう一度やったってまたオカリンが傷つくだけだって思うな。
The last
未来
time.
のことを人一人で変えようなんてきっと無理なんだよ。
Okay. He
だ
said
からそのためのシュタインズゲートで
like the reason why he had to fail is that so that he knows there's no takes back. You have to do it right. That's why he planned it to fail. Come on.
気持ちはわかるよ。でもさ、私も未来をかけてここまで来てるんだよね。
俺をかけたのか？
どっちにしろ2036年には戻れないんだ。そう簡単に諦めるつもりはないから。オカリンおじさん、一つだけ忠告しとく。
は？
このタイムマシンに残されてる燃料は有限なの。さっ
I
きは
thought you told earlier.
往復2回分しか残ってないって言ったけど、実はまだそれなりに余裕はある。それでも移動できる時間はおよそ344日分。片道のタイムトラベルだとしても今から1年と経たないうちに7月28日には届かなくなる。覚えといて。その日になったらさ、私はたとえ一人でも飛ぶよ。
Wait, he's gonna live this year? Someone was saying something to me, but I couldn't understand the words. I didn't want to listen to anything. I just wanted to sleep. Just let this all end. Just let me go. What
オカ
are
リン？
you?
オカリン。ねえ、オカリン。もう頑張らなくてもいいからね。
So you're
泣い
fine
て
with
もいい
Kurisu?
んだよ。
You're fine with Kurisu dying? You're
ハ
fine
ヤ
with...
シーはそばにいるからね。オカリン。
I don't know if Mayuri's word was the reason why, but the tears started to flow. I decided to forget everything. Ever since that day, I stopped going to the future. He didn't tell about the message. No, time skip to roughly a month. UPX, the new symbol of Akihabara, was located right in front of the station. In the hall of the 4th floor, preparation had been going on all morning for the ATF Akihabara Techno Forum convention. University and lab from both sides, inside and outside the country, would work together to put on special seminars and symposiums at irregular intervals. My school, Tokyo Denki University, was participating as a part of the industry collaboration efforts. Students were required to attend these seminars and submit reports of their instruction. I think I'll lower it down a bit. Otherwise, they wouldn't get credit for their related classes. In addition, I was supposed to help one of the lecturers, Associate Professor Izaki. I had just gotten a list from the reception desk at the shared lobby. I was waiting to check the names of the students who were coming to the lectures. There was still some time before the seminar started, so the lobby was mostly empty. None of the students on the list were here yet. I was bored, but I couldn't do anything but wait. The old me never could have imagined doing anything like this, but impressing Izaki was part of my new goal in life. Who's this Izaki? Victor Chandra University? Yes, that was my new goal. Izaki did a lot of joint research projects with them and knew a lot of people there. The best first step to getting there my brain could come up was being his assistant. Also, the convention was holding another seminar by Victor Chandra University after the one held this summer. An image of her was then flashed through my mind. Are you seriously gonna give up? I was trying to get to Victor Chandra so that I could learn about the work that Makise Kurisu was doing. I wanted to try to do it myself. Of course, I wasn't a genius like Kurisu. I knew there was no way I'll be able to do exactly what she did. But if I could do even 10% of it, honestly, I'm amazed that I recovered so well. I thought that to myself and chuckle, just as a voice called to me from across the lobby.
ちょっと、そこの方?
I looked up and saw a young girl approaching from the elevator hall. She was short and petite. Everything about her was small. I could kind of make out a few of the curves that don't appear until after puberty. Or at least she wasn't in elementary school. But maybe middle school? For someone with such a cute face, she clearly didn't care about her appearance. Her hair wasn't styled and it flowed down her back. Even I could tell her clothes weren't very fashionable. What are you now, the fashion police?
スタッフルームってどこかしら?
ここは ATF のセミナー会場だけど。
Clearly not a place for middle school girls belong. We probably just came to the wrong place.
そんなの分かっているわ。何度同じ話を繰り返せば気が済むの?
いや、今初めて行ったんだけど。
私にとってはあなたで4回目よ。この場所に来てからね。
Give me a second. Sound, let's see. Music volume we will for something like this. Voice volume will put it to the max. Movie volume will bring it to the max as well. Okay. The recited she pulled a card. It was one of the IDs given to the invited guests. Her name and the name of workplace were written on the front.
Huh?
Akihabara Techno Forum, guest Maho Hojo, Hiado.
ビクトル・コンドリア大学脳科学研究所?
I look at the card, then at her. Then I back at the card, then I look at her again. I finally realize.
あ、そういうことか。そのカードどこに落ちてたんだ？拾ってくれたん？
その話も4回目よ。
This is the 4th time. You try and show me another card. ID. This is a photo ID from Victor Chandra University.
え
It was the same ID I've seen Kurisu holding before on another Worldline. The photo on the card? Yeah, that was definitely her. Come on,
ヒ
show
ヤ
it.
城真帆って読むの。私の名前ヒヤ城真帆。漢字でもローマ字でも誰も読めた試しがないから先に言っとくわ。
ビクトル・コンドリア大学の中学生？
What?
寝ぼけるなら夜にして。大学に中学生がいるわけないでしょ。
それもそうだな。じゃあ飛び級か。
Unlike in Japan, it wasn't uncommon for Americans to skip grades. Kurisu had made it to university at age 17. Pretty slow. But still, a girl this young working in a university lab? A second. Text. Message speed go up faster a bit. Around here.
一つ確認していいかしら。
Nani?
おう。
あなた今少なからず衝撃を受けてるわよね。
Mm-hmm.
こんな小さい子が信じられないかしら。
Yep.
それともこの年齢ですごいの方。
あ
She got me.
ここをよく見なさい。
Ah, there you go. The girl, Hiyajo Maho, pointed to the part of the ID with her sandy finger. 1989 and it was 2010. 21.
21歳。
つまり立派な成人女性よ。中学生じゃないのよ。もちろん小学生でも幼稚園児でも。
Then she popped out her chest. It wasn't much to see, but I could imagine just saying, they look bigger when I'm not wearing clothes. They're huge!
おお。
Ooh.
何かしらその顔は。
迫力がある。
いや、
いろんな意味で。
謝る。
I couldn't believe it. She was older than me. Dan masih yakin Vida Sigurashi legal only for the win.
まあいいわ。世界中どこへ行っても同じ目に遭ってるから。
成人よりしか勝たん。
そうだろうな。
何か言った？
あ、いや別に。
Still, the Brain Science Institute? That's where Kurisu worked. Which means this person might know a lot about Kurisu. I held back the impulse to start badgering her with questions. I looked at the pamphlet with the seminar schedule. Victor Chandra's lecture was the last one for the day, and it was clearly intended to be the biggest. Victor Chandra, the university, okay? Was this Hiyajo Maho was going to give a lecture? Just like Kurisu had done at the summer convention? No wait, that's wrong. That never happened. Mark said Kurisu never gave any lectures over the summer. That happened in the Alpha Worldline. In the Worldline I inhabited now, before the summer convention, she's already dead by your hand. More the reason to save her.
君が今日は登壇を？
いいえ、私は助手として来たの。あと通訳も兼ねてね。
I looked at the pamphlet again, and I saw the lecturer was a man named Alexis Leskinen. a professor at Victoria Chandra University and the chief researcher of the Brain Science Institute.
テーマは人工知能革命か。面白そうだ。
時間があったらぜひ聞いてみてほしいわね。
そうするよ。あ、スタッフルームだったよな。
I leased Maho over to the elevator hall and showed her where the staff room was.
ありがとう。
I had no reason to hang out around with her further. Jared! I said goodbye and was just about to turn around. Just then, the elevator opened. A woman emerged. The instant I saw her face, every hair on my body stood on end. Moeka! It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. Calm down, calm down. This is the beta Worldline. Mayuri is alive. Moeka is not going to kill her. Our eyes met. The eyes on the other side of her glasses were as dead as ever, and it was impossible to tell what she was thinking. Try and save her this time, please! I frantically averted my gaze before she realized something was wrong. She tilted her head for a second, but quickly lost interest in me and turned to Maho. Why? Because her job is to get the IBN, right? Huh?
ああ、雑誌社の方でしたよね。
Oh, hi, agent facility. Like, I didn't spoil myself for Steins Gate 0, but I did play Steins Gate visual novel last year.
レスキネン教授はまだなんです。少しお待たせしてしまいますけど。
Is she still with CERN?
それまで私でよければシステムの概要でも。
お願いします。
Yeah, like that's why I'm playing it. Like, if I know there's an anime about it as well, but I didn't watch the Zero one. I tried to calm down, but it wasn't working.
もしかして。
I'm not from the Philippines or Japan, but I can speak Japanese. It was a terrible feeling, like a cold finger tracing the wounds in my heart. That night, when terrorist threat shut down all the trees in Akihabara. Wait, that happened? That awful night when I just knew something was going to happen.
ここでもまたお前が。
This is November. I studied Japanese from beginning. Or was I just imagining things? Was she just a magazine reporter now instead of CERN rounder? Mongolian. Yeah, there's a number of Mongolians, well, Mongolian/Chinese in Japan. Even if Moeka was surrounded, we had nothing to do. Wait, a bit too fast. Let me. We had nothing to do with CERN anymore. CERN wouldn't be watching us. Do you take JLPT? I took another deep breath, grabbed some of the anxiety meds in my pocket, and swallowed them down with some mineral water I brought ahead of time. It would take 15 minutes for them to kick in. Those 15 minutes were always pretty rough. I laughed at myself a little and sat down on one of the reception desk chair. The table was filled with leaflets, pamphlets, and other things for the attendees. I got 2, and I'm waiting for my JLPT N1 result. Hopefully I pass. Oh, I forgot to put on auto. My eyes wandered to one of the pamphlets. You haven't checked out the pamphlets yet? Nakabachi theory. And the genius. Wait, he had the paper, right? This pamphlet was for Professor Izaki's seminar? Nakabachi theory. The paper he announced in Russia? That paper held the key to creating a real-time machine and ruining the whole world. Nakabachi had stolen the paper from Kurisu, his own daughter, and left with it. I knew that. Wait. Since Kurisu died, and the fact that he fled to Russia after that, shouldn't the people think like, oh, he killed, the daughter after that? Well, of course, Russia will be interested in protecting him, but still, the fact that, it should be like both Japanese government and the American government wanna like prosecute them either way, because for Japan, of course, Kurisu is maybe she have dual citizenship, or maybe single, like either way. At the very least, American side is gonna push because she's a promising, scientist. But just America, like they won't budge, and especially now with the fact that they had the paper. I flipped through the pamphlet. It was a brief introduction to the many forms of pseudosciences and fake scientific discovery that had emerged since the start of 20th century. On its own, it did make an interesting read. At the end of the pamphlet, Nakabachi theory was introduced as nothing more than another entry in that long list of fakes. So Nakabachi's time machine had been completely ignored by the academic world. And then it's gonna be a nightmare. Like they realized it too late. All the glory, fame, and power he wanted so badly that he was willing to get rid of his own daughter. He didn't get any of it. And I heard rumors that after the announcement, he'd been imprisoned in a Russian lab. To make it even funnier, he thought he was getting a VIP treatment. Wait, what changed? Okay, because I remember roughly. Let me stop the auto. Because where he managed to escape Russia is that because the metal UPA was in that that envelope, okay, where the theory is inside, okay, and that allows the airport security staff to detect it and basically stop from the plane from exploding, okay, one of the engines from exploding. By the way, airplanes are made so that even if one of the engine blows up, the other one still can support the whole plane. Okay, so that's how the paper is saved. And in the best outcome, okay, what happened was that it's not a metal UPA, it's just a normal UPA. Okay, the normal UPA basically is in that envelope, and then since it's made out of plastic, it didn't trigger the metal detector, and then it blows up along with the paper. What changed here? Something must have. Well, the one thing is that, Suzuha, she didn't have the, she didn't tell Okabe about what is it? About the message to check the phone, okay? Because like the future self, sent a recorded message and he can only access it if he failed one time. Man, this is gonna take a long time. And I do think like it ties in with the original. The ironic thing was that Nakamashi theory was completely correct and completely revolutionary. The Russian government was worried about it leaking and the SVR was doing everything it could to keep it under wraps. But under the surface, there was a full-scale information war beginning over the paper. The time traveler from 2036, John Titor, had told me so, which meant it had to be true. Was World War III really going to happen? There was no point in thinking about it. Just a little more before the drugs kick in. I closed my eyes. He's just running away. Several hours later? Wait. Phone? Rine. Occurring. Are things going okay with Mr. Tamura? I can't reply? Huh? I can't reply? Huh? Can I reply? Oh well. Several hours later, the convention was going well. Professor Izaki's seminar, most of the students from my university went home, but I killed some time and came back. I wanted to hear the Victor Condia lecture. I headed to the hall with plenty of time to spare and saw Iyajo Maho coming from the staff room. She was with a very tall foreigner. Was that Alexis Laskinen? It didn't seem like an American name, but maybe he was an immigrant like Kurisu, or at least descended from one. Sounds Russian to me. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but their looks on their faces were so serious I couldn't help but to listen. Since they were both speaking in English, I could barely make out any of it, but I could tell that their voices that wasn't a pleasant chat. Wait, did I just hear the word Makite? I hated the fact that I couldn't speak English and learn it. If I know this was going to happen, I could have gone to an English school. Eikaiwa. The two of them walked into their waiting room for lectures. It was located right next to the UPX theater. I put together the new fragments I was able to understand. Fire at Kurisu's house, Mrs. Makite is alright. Robbery. The police called off the investigation. Why was the FBI there? It doesn't make sense. I think that's what they were saying. Kurisu's house? Do they mean where she lived in America? Her mother should still live in America. Is that where the fire was? And then words like robbery and the investigation were pulled off. I really wanted to know more. I stood there and worried until it was time for a lecture to begin. With nothing else to do, I went inside the theater. I could tell earlier by looking at the size of the crowd going inside, but it was a very high energy crowd. The atmosphere was clearly different from Izaki's seminar, which was mostly students there for the credit. This space was nearly full with a crowd of scientists and people who wanted to learn about cutting-edge technology. Victor Chandra's researchers had published a slate of papers in Science recently and had gotten a lot of media attention. Maybe that's why. Was there any empty seats? I found a single open seat at the edge. I found a simple empty seat. But when I look at who was sitting next to it, I moaned. Let me guess, Moeka. Knew it! You again. Iru Moeka was there. She was speaking to no one, just typing endlessly into her phone. I once named her Shining Finger because of her incredible typing speed, and she was as fast as ever. Who was she talking to? I didn't even want to imagine. I quickly turned away and looked for another seat. Dr. Luskin reached the podium almost the exact instant I sat down. There was a huge wave of applause, but when they saw the tiny little girl come up next to him, the applause faded into a confused murmur. Mako must have expected this. Her expression didn't change in the slightest as she stood next to the professor. In fact, when she took the microphone from the professor and looked around the theater, she looked like she belonged there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
First, Dr. Leskinen began to speak in English. Then he made eye contact with Maho, and she began to interpret.
Thank you for attending
皆
this
さん、
seminar.
本日は私のセミナーに集まってくださって感謝します。
I am Alexis Leskinen
ビクトル・コンドリア大学脳科学研究所のアレクシス・レスキネンです。専門は脳信号処理システムおよび人工知能理論になります。そして私は助手の比谷城真帆です。同じく脳科学研究所で教授の指導に沿って研究をしています。よろしく。
よろしく. The audience murmured again. That was the same way I responded when I met her. Well, that happened, yeah.
Now, without further ado,
では早速ですが、私たちの最先端研究の一端をご紹介します。テーマは人工知能革命としましたが、これからデモンストレーションするシステムはおそらく皆さんの想像を超えたものではないかと思っています。
Dr. Leskinen stood in front of the laptop that had been placed on the podium and started to type. Is it one of the chatbots?
このパソコンですが、研究所のスーパーコンピューターの一つと接続されています。ああ、まだプロジェクターには映さないで。
One of the staffers was about to display the laptop screen on the front projector. Some kind of important program must have been brewing up, because Tia Jomajo stopped them. Maho.
Sorry, this is all
す
still
み
in
ません、
development.
まだ開発
We
途中
haven't
なんで
had
す。
time to develop much of UI
非
yet.
常に美的センスのないプログラムが画面いっぱいに溢れ返っています。
Honestly, I'm a
こんな
little
チープな
embarrassed
プログ
by
ラム
all
を見
this
られるのは
outdated
恥ず
data.
かしい。
I almost feel like
裸を
I'm
見られるよ
naked
りも
here.
ね。
Show me.
Any
Show me.
engineers out there?
この中にエンジニアの方がいるなら理解していただけますよね。
Some of the audience got the professor's joke and laughed.
Anyway, while this finishes
起
setting
動
up,
するまでの
I'll
間、
give you a quick
この
overview
シス
of
テム
our
全
system.
体の概略を説明しましょう。
There was another projector in the center of the stage. A diagram appeared on the screen. At the top of the diagram was a Japanese translation for the general audience. Nanda. An analysis of neural pulse signals relating to memories stored in the temporal lobe. I knew that title well. Kurisu. Paper. In fact, I could never forget it. It was the title of an essay written by a 17-year-old genius and published in Science. She had completely analyzed the nerve impulse patterns that govern human memory and used that to digitize the memories themselves into data. and he had used that to embed the time leap machine right in front of my eyes. So none of that had actually happened anymore.
サイエンス誌に掲載されたので、ご存知の方もいるでしょう。これは私たちのチームにいた天才的な日本人研究者によって提唱され完成されたものです。
This world is... Okay. Are they gonna bring it up?
人間の記憶は大脳皮質、とりわけ側頭葉に記録されます。いわゆるフラッシュメモリみたいなもの。そのメモリに記憶を書き込んだり読み出したりするのが側頭葉にある海馬傍回という部位になります。
Dr. Leskinen pointed to the diagrams of the brain and hippocampus on the screen. 脳はニューロンと呼ばれる細胞の間を電気信号が伝わっていくことで働いています。記憶というのも実はこういった電気信号の伝わりの一つなのです。その働きを制御しているのが海馬傍回と言ってもいいでしょう。つまり電気信号が海馬傍回を出入りすることで記憶は作られていくんですね。そこでマキセ・クリスはこの論文を書いた日本人研究者です。 Well, at least they tried to...
マキセ研究員は考えました。
They're not gonna bring up her death.
海馬傍回を通る電気信号が電気信号のパターンと
Okay, she's not
大脳
keeping
皮
up.
質の
It seems that Maho is very flustered by this. Maho started to have trouble with her interpreting. She was getting confused. No matter how good you were at languages, interpreting for a long period of time had to be difficult. This is why I kind of like need a break from Kyonyu Fancy. Like, Kyonyu Fancy are playing it all in Japanese, so translating that is very hard. I once read an article on the internet that said even a professional can't do it for more than 20 minutes. International conferences and live broadcasts from overseas were actually handled by a team of people switching off. I did that for 2 hours every weekend. Well, at least an hour and a half. Or maybe... was she having trouble because of Chris's name came up? Dr. Leskinen saw she was having trouble and cut himself off.
すみません。
Wow.
マキセ研究員は海馬傍回を出入りする電気信号のパターンに着目しました。そのパターンが大脳皮質のどの記憶と対応しているのか解析を行って完全なデータを得たのです。これによって記憶という曖昧でアナログなものを電気信号のパターンの組み合わせというデジタルなものに変換する基礎理論が確立されたのです。
They're repeating, right?
これがサイエンス誌に掲載された彼女の論文です。
Okay, she's referring her in pronouns rather than her name.
そして現在、私たちのチームはその理論をもとに人間の記憶をデジタルデータとして取得するシステムを開発しています。
A wave of whispers swept across the theater.
それはすなわち人間の記憶をコンピューターに保存しそれを活用するシステムということになります。
The whispers turned into a low roar. Yeah. So even after her death, Chris's research was being carried on. Of course, it was natural that it would be. That was the basic theory for time leaping, which I had proved myself, even if I could never prove it to anyone else in the Alpha Worldline. Actually, you can prove it, in that Worldline. My memories had been turned into data and stored on a computer. There was no doubt about that. Stored and sent. And what Dr. Leskinen was talking about right now was the basic technology required for the process.
At present, we are
現
attempting
在
to apply this
私
research
たちが
to
行
two
ってい
major
るプロジェク
projects.
ト
The
は
first is
主
medical
に
treatment.
2つです。1つは医療分野への応用です。
Medical application? The slide on the projector changed.
For this application,
See.
we
こ
will
ちらは
collaborating with the
精神生理
Physiological
学研究所
Psychology
と
Institute.
共同で行っているプロジェクトです。
By passing data from a computer
コ
through
ン
the
ピューターに保
particle
存
controllers,
した記憶デ
we
ータ
can
を
rewrite memories
海
to
馬
the
妨害
original
を
brain.
通して再び元の脳に書き戻すというもので、
Incredible!
Incredible! Someone who looked like a grad student in the front row shouted. Dr. Leskinen didn't seem particularly put off by the interruption. Maho continued her interpretation. Like, in that case, it's not well,
You don't believe it? I know how you feel.
信じがた
I'd be
い
thinking
で
the
す
same
か。
thing if I were you.
その気持ちは理解できます。私も皆さんの立場であればそう言ったでしょう。
okay, I want to say something. If that's the case, like, in a sense, you can live forever. Because, but then again, it's not really artificial intelligence because, I would see what they're doing here. Like, if you watch Futurama, I think you get what I'm trying to say. Is that Futurama, that they keep the important people alive by keeping their head in a jar, okay? But in a sense, they're doing that, but rather than the full head, it's just their memories, maybe their personality as well, okay? In a computer. So this, in a sense, this is not artificial intelligence. It's more of a like stored memory. It should be a much better name for it. Stored memory, or maybe I would say digitized personality, maybe, or digitized. Well, either way, it's not artificial
し
intelligence.
かし
Can you
こ
imagine
の
the
研究に
incredible
私たちは
applications
手
of
応
this
えを感じ
technology?
ています。これが実用化できればどんなに素晴らしいことでしょう。
We could treat memory loss in
例えば
secondary or
老化による
Alzheimer's
記憶障害、
problems that currently have
あと
matured.
はアルツハイマーなど、そうしたものへの対処療法が期待できます。
Any of those
How?
memories could be
患者の記憶をデータ
backed
と
up
して
as
自
digital
動
data.
的にバックアップしていくので
Yes,
す。
that part is true, but how are you going to fix it?
Even if a memory is
記
lost,
憶が失われたとしても、
it's possible to
その都度
access
PC に
a
アクセス
PC
し
and reinstall data in
脳
the
内に
brain.
データを再インストールすることが可能です。
So what you're trying to say is that it's gonna be like Matrix. Okay? Like the Matrix, they have like this brain jack at the back of their neck, right? Basically in the spinal cord. So like if they forget, then it's like plug it in, and then like, oh, so that, and then like, okay, let's say at first like this person have Alzheimer, okay, and like he doesn't remember his family. Like, who are you? Even though it's the wife that married for 30, 40, 50 years, and like jack it in. And then he will remember everything.
We could halt the progress of
そ
scenario
れ
But
によっ
isn't it
て
gonna be have to do it
忘
again
却
and
の
again?
進行を食い止められるのではない
can
か。
accomplish.
私たちはそう考えています。
Eventually, it would be
最
possible
終
to
的には
directly and continuously
海馬妨害
access
から
data stored on
PC
the
内の
computer
記憶
through
データ
the
に常時
particle
アクセス
controllers.
できるようになるでしょう。
So if the brain were to lose
そうすれ
significant
ば
functionality,
脳
say
機能が
through brain
失われ
damage
た
or
状態、
atrophy,
例えば脳が激しく損傷したり萎縮してしまった場合などですが、
the system would essentially
そのような状態でも
take up the stock of whatever part of the
変わら
brain
ず
was
脳
failing.
機能を維持できます。
Think of it like an
あた
external
かも
hard drive.
外部ストレージと同じように。
External hard drive. A strange feeling gripped the hall. Part of it was shock, and part of it feeling that they were witnessing an announcement of an incredible technology. Part of it was skepticism that a system like this could ever actually work. Part of it was a revulsion at the idea of playing around with the human brain like that. I don't mind if it's a dead person near death. An excitement born out of all these things passed from one member to the crowd to another. Dr. Leskanen raised his hand to encourage questioners.
I'm seeing some of you have questions.
どうやら
We
2
move
つ
to
目の
our
プロ
second
ジェクト
project.
をお話しする前に質問を受け付けないといけないようですね。
The second project?
I'll answer as many as I can. Go
で
ahead.
きる範囲でお答えします。どうぞ。
Many hands were raised. Could it be that there was a wide range of people interested, both young and old, who were raising their hands? Dr. Leskanen pointed at the questionnaire. This was the first question. Sampling would be required when digitizing analog memory. Does that mean any information would be lost? The professor nodded as he had listened to the question in Japanese and began to respond in English when the speaker finished. Maybe he was able to understand Japanese, if not speak it.
Let me reflect
そ
that.
の質問を言い換えると
You're talking about attempting to
オーケストラの
record
生
an
演奏
orchestral
を
performance and how
ワ
we
ブ
can
のデータ
navigate
に
it
保存する
perfectly
際
with the best
生
process
演奏
format.
の全てを完璧に記録することはできないと
That's certainly a concern.
確かに
It's
そ
one
の
of the
懸念
most
はありま
pressing
す。
issues our
現在の
research
研
is
究で
addressing right now.
最も困難な問題の一つです。
Now, if the intercerebral network
脳内の
used
ネ
simple
ットワーク
on-off
が
states for
神経伝達
neurotransmitters
物質
like
の
binary
オン
data,
オフだけ
it
で
would be easy.
つまり二進数的にデータのやり取りをしているのであれば簡単な問題でした。
Okay, so what I think here is that it says here like maybe there's something that's lost. Memory is preserved, but something is off. So what I'm thinking is that the memory is there, but how should I say this? The feelings are not there. So like for example, okay, like let's take an old couple, okay, and they have been married for 50 years. They live a very, loving life, okay, and like the husband is sweet. So like this, when the wife, back up her memory, okay, and she passed away, okay, and then later like booted up into like some kind of like a robot, okay, and then later like, oh, I remember my husband. He was a kind man. And they're like, do you miss him? I do feel lonely. But if you ask, the lady if she's still alive, like, oh, I remember my husband. He was so sweet. Every day he will be kind. He will send me flowers on the first day of the month. So for example, like that, like there's like a degree of fondness, but when it comes to like backing up with the computer, like they don't have emotions that much. Maybe that is lost.
After all, that's
そ
how
れ
our
は
computer deals
デジタ
with
ル
it.
データと同じことだからです。
Unfortunately, intercerebral
しかし
transmission
実際に
subsystems
は
signals are
伝
much
達
more
物質や
analog
電
than
気
they
信
are
号
digital.
は脳内でアナログ的に変化することが分かっています。
So at present, the best
この
solution
問題
is
に関しては
simply to store data
今の
at
と
the
ころ
highest possible
より
sampling
高い
rate.
サンプリングレートでデータをサンプルする方法しか手段を持っていません。
In musical teams, you could
音楽
say
の話で言えば
something at 48
44.1kHz よりも 48kHz 48kHz よりも 96kHz でサンプリングするといった具合です。
It's still digital data, of course,
それによって
but the information we
デ
are
ジタルであり
gathering
な
is
がら
as close as
アナ
possible
ログ
to
データ
the
に
analog
近い
signal.
情報を得ようとしています。
Little by little, the mood in the room turned into disappointment. The people were beginning to wonder if this was just a pretty theory that wouldn't work in reality. More questions came. All of the questionnaires were skeptical of the professor's theory, but many of them seemed to be outright challenging him. I started to get upset. This was Dr. Deskanen's research, but it was also Kulisa's. I knew better than anyone that it worked, and the sight of so many people refusing to give it a chance infuriated me. Were those people really scientists? I tried to keep myself under control and looked back towards the podium. Was she mad? She certainly looked disappointed. Dr. Leskinen was very polite with her rude questionnaires, acknowledging the problems with the theory. She was very different. Her anger was starting to seep into her interpreting too. I felt a kinship with her. The question and answer session continued.
そもそもこれは医学的に無謀でしょう。デジタルデータを脳に書き戻すなんて絶対に不可能だ。正気の沙汰ではない。サイエンス誌に掲載されたあの論文も読みましたが、にわかには信じられない。ましてや、
Maho.
筆頭著者が若干17歳の女性だったとあっては。
Uh-oh. That was the one thing I could not agree.
あなたね。
Ignore.
意義あり。
Yep.
あ
What is this? Oh my god. Eighth attorney.
やってみもしないで何がわかるって言うんだ。最初は無理だと思われてた技術なんてこの世にいくらでもあるじゃないか。でもそれを克服した研究者がいたからこそ今があるんだろう。ただ批判するだけじゃ何も生まれない。
The whole theater went silent, but I didn't regret standing up.
あなた。
The one thing that you can look up to Okabe is his boldness. And as for Dr. Leskinen, I saw a flash of white teeth as our eyes met.
Awesome. He's really something.
Yay! Why was he applauding? That just makes things embarrassing.
素晴らしい。彼はなかなか大したやつだ。ですって。
Maho translated the professor words for me to hear.
Nonetheless, a scientist
ただ
Seriously,
し
you don't understand that?
科学者たるもの常に冷静でなければいけない。
The only time when it is
大声
possible
で怒鳴
to
って
shout
いい
is
のは
when your
実験
experiment
が
is a
成功
success
した
and you
時
say,
の
We did it,
We did it.
and that should be enough.
それだけで十分だそうですよ。
すみません。
I lowered my head and sat down. I thought I was calm, but I guess I let my emotion get away from me. I hadn't grown up at all in the past 6 months. 6 months? Oh yeah, it happened in July/August, right? If Kurisu was here, she'd make fun of me again. I could feel the rest of the audience staring at me coldly. It hurts. If I could have left, I would have wanted to, but I was too interested in hearing the rest of Dr. Leskin's talk to move.
And anyway, moving on.
それでは皆さん、そろそろ次に。
Oh, first, a round of
で
applause,
も
please, for
そ
our
の
great
前
friend.
に勇敢な彼に拍手をお願いします。
Embarrassing. Oh no. Please no.
Men like him are what
彼
drives
のような
scientific
挑
progress
戦者
and
こそが
end up the
科学を
for
進歩させ、
remarkable theories.
あっと驚くような理論を作り上げるのです。
He may even become the third
彼なら
Einstein.
きっと第3のアインシュタインになれるかもしれませんね。
What's the second one?
The second Einstein, of course,
ちなみに
demise rightly was
第
the
2のアイン
assistant
シュ
chief.
タインはここにいるちょっと小うるさい私の助手。変なこと言うのはやめてください、教授。
The audience chuckle. Sheesh.
さて、ここで私はしばらく通訳をお休みさせていただきます。これから私よりも優秀な通訳が登場します。これが私たちのチームが今最も力を入れている2つ目のプロジェクト。アマデウスシステムです。
Amadeus system. Huh? Amadeus system. At Dr. Leskin's signal, the PC screen was displayed on the projector, and then I heard a voice.
皆さん、初めてお目にかかります。
The murmuring got louder than before, but it felt more uncertain than surprised. On the screen, I could see a detailed 3D model of Maho, the girl who had just been interpreting.
ちなみにこれは映画などで有名なドリンクワークススタジオに作成してもらったモデルです。
Okay. Give me a second, I need to check the tips. Drinkworks Studio. An American CG movie production, okay. DreamWorks Studio.
声については私のボイスサンプルをデータベースにして日本の山名が作ってくれました。
山名？山名？Yamaha! This was CG. This really looked real to me. The professor said something into the laptop's microphone, and then the 3D model of Maho Hiyajo on the screen opened a file.
私はヒヤジョウマホです。正確に言うなら78時間22分前のヒヤジョウマホから派生した存在ということになります。
If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear something slightly off. But it sounded far more human than any artificial voice I've ever heard. Are you picking a fight with Miku?
先ほどから皆さんの質問を聞かせていただいていました。教授はどうして私を早く紹介しないのかとてももどかしく思っていましたよ。
Setting.
以前から感じていましたが、どうも教授は人が悪いようですね。まったくだわ。
The Hiyajo Maho on the screen spoke with a slightly irritated voice, and the Hiyajo Maho by the wall nodded in agreement. Dr. Leskin simply smiled. What was going on here? Was part of this their biggest project? The rest of the audience didn't seem to have any more of a clue than I did.
皆さんの多くは疑問に思っています。人間の記憶をデータとして取り出したり、それを保存したり、さらにはそのデータを活用したり、そんなことが本当に可能なのかと。それでは私は一体何でしょうか。私は
Projection?
78時間23分前のヒヤジョウマホの脳内から取り出された記憶を持ち、そのデータをベースにして動いているのです。
What did she just say? The professor said something else in rapid English and asked the Maho on the screen to translate it. But she, if she was the right word, hesitated and went silent. I looked at the real Maho, and she was responding exactly the same way.
教授、今のは。
Is it alright?
教授、今の発言はセクシャルハラスメントとして大学に訴えてもいいでしょうか。
Dr. Leskin laughed and cheerfully responded to her. The conversation was in quick English, and over half of the audience couldn't understand it. The real Maho sighed and took back the microphone.
教授はですね、私に対して、いえ、私の記憶で動作しているこのアマデウスに対して質問に答えてごらんと言いました。
What? We didn't hear it.
いつ頃までパパとお風呂に入っていたかとか、初恋はいつだったかとか、何でも答えられるだろうと。
かわいい。
もうそれ以上通訳しなくていいわ。
なんだ
恥ずかしいからやめてくれないかしら。私はそういう質問には一切答えないわ。
The professor said something else, and the Maho on the screen groaned and turned away.
クレジットカードの番号なんてもっと言えません。あと1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色なんて覚えてるわけないです。
What was it? It was so natural I couldn't tell this at first, but this was something unbelievable, wasn't it? it felt very different from a typical AI. I could tell that much. Typical AI, I could tell that much. I wasn't answering the question. It wasn't answering the question it was given, and because they were embarrassing. Was it programmed to respond like that to a certain question? Okay. Now, they say that something is lost in between, and but we look at his face. God damn, he's enjoying this. That's the face of a villain right there, right there. Dang it. Okay, what I was about to say. Oh yeah, that they say that when they record, the samples, that something is lost. I thought it was actually personality. It seems that personality is not lost. So what else is lost? It was possible that all of it was, but if that conversation wasn't programmed in advance, the rest of the crowd seemed to reach the same conclusion I did. And the whisper started to turn to a surprised murmur.
ねえちょっといい加減このいたずらな子供を何とかしてくれないかしら。何をしたいのか理解はできるけど、とにかく恥ずかしいわ。
The copy of Maho complaining to the original. It felt like I was watching a pair of twin sisters talking.
いたずらな子供ではなく、レスキネン教授が面白がってなかなか説明してくれないので、代わりに私がお話しします。
Maho walked back to the professor.
皆さん、もうお分かりかと思いますが、アマデウスは自分が話していいこととそうでないこと、あるいは話したいことと話したくないことを自ら判断して喋っています。
Okay, it is the Amadeus system, right? So does that mean like the Amadeus system, like it basically becomes the bank, or is it like they have like Amadeus Maho, Amadeus Okabe, Amadeus Mayuri? Okay, so is it partitioned like that, or they are all one giant system, or maybe, okay, one, is it partitioned? In other words, like they are separate. Second is that they are one giant supercomputer. Or third, it's a combination of both. Like the individual ones and then like they are feed to a master computer. So it's a mix of 1 and 2. Easy to say A, B or AB.
私たちはアマデウスにそういったプログラムを一切施していません。
Then how?
彼女は与えられた私の記憶からそれを独自に判断し、自律的にそういう行動をとっているのです。
The Mao on screen suddenly took over for her.
そしてこれは先ほどの医療分野への応用とは方向性が真逆になってしまい、研究所内でもずっと議論が交わされていることですが、
But
私は不必要な情報をいつの間にか忘れてしまう。
then what's the point?
というか、記憶の引き出しから出してこられなくなるのです。皆さんと同じようにです。
Then what's the
例えば
point?
1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色、確かにそれを知っていたはずなのに今は思い出せません。そのような情報は生存していく上で必要がないからです。これも皆さんと同じです。このように
Look at the face, he's
ア
back
マ
to
デウスは
normal.
記憶のインプットやアウトプットが人間のそれと非常に近いのです。これは私たちも驚くべき結果として研究を重ねている最中で、まだ詳しくは解明されていません。
As Maho finished up, Dr. Leskinen took the microphone back. He resumed interpreting as he continued the lecture.
However, what really surprised us
さらに
was that Amadeus took
私たちを
intentionally a
驚かせたのは、アマデウスが意図して嘘をつくということ。
lot, and not as some sort of bug
何らか
or
のトラブルや
This
ミ
is
スではな
purposeful
く、
behavior.
わざとそうするのです。
Oh god.
Lying is clearly just
嘘は
another method of human
人間
communication.
が他人とコミュニケーションを取る上での一つの手法です。
Oh god. This is the start of Skynet, right?
アマデウスもインプッ
Did
ト
you
された
plan
記
to
憶
kill
を自
them?
律的に検討
Did you
し
try to commit human
必要であれ
genocide?
ば
No,
自分
I
や
did
他人の
not.
ために平気で嘘をつきます。教授、誤解を招くような言い方はやめてください。嘘をつくのに平気なことなんてありません。私だって両親が咎めます。
I'm so sorry, and
Let's get it cut off. But what if they copied a, you know, like a bloodthirsty criminal something? But the moment passed and the professor continued. And Maho translated his words like there was nothing shocking about them at all.
this has led us to some
この
interesting
ような
conclusions.
検証を続けていくことで、最終的に私たちは
For one, we believe it's possible
ア
for
マデウス
Amadeus
に
to eventually
人
possess
間
a
と
mind
同様の
functionally
魂を
identical
宿すことができるの
to
で
a
は
human
な
one.
いかと考えています。
Soul? How would you sentient? What should one of the leading brain scientists in the world use a word with such vague definitions?
In other words, true
これこそ
artificial intelligence.
本当の意味での人工知能ということになります。
Damn it, always a bit slow. The whole hall got silent, and it was sheer chaos for a while after that, as everyone tried to debate their own personal theories with Dr. Leskinen at once. It was thanks to Izaki that I was able to get into the deception held after the ATF was over. They told me there was a dress code, so I went all the way back to my parents' house to get a suit to change into. Right now? Okay. I think I'll go a bit more until the start of the next day. I thought I wanted to stop here, but I think like it will last at least like another 20-30 minutes. I thought like it's gonna last an hour. Weekend, JAXA, IMSS. But before long, Izaki ran off to suck up to some university professor, and I was left completely abandoned. My own personal target, Dr. Leskinen, was surrounded by a bunch of famous scientists. It didn't feel like a mere student would be welcome. My own personal... okay, give me a second. Auto. And so all I did was stand around and eat at the buffet by the wall. To be honest, I couldn't tell if the food was any good or not. Why? Whenever my glass got empty, a smiling waiter was always around to fill it up again, and so I found myself drinking more than I intended. My stomach was already so full it hurt. The place, they feel like another world. What? I can't believe you get to go to a fancy party. Die in fire, Mr. Fancy Pants. Did I reply? Can I reply? I'll check it out after the stream.
やっぱりこういうのには向かないわ。
Ugh. At the same moment I spoke, I heard a girl next to me say the same exact thing. The legal lolly.
あら、あなた。
Legal lolly. What was the middle school? Ah, you! Then a moment later, I realized it was me, Chia Jomaho. Just wearing the exact same outfit she'd been wearing during the lecture. A lab coat in a place like this? That's just what the old me would have done.
あなたは
Maho was clearly out of place. Why? Because she was still wearing a lab coat.
なんで白衣なんです？
Ah, that's what I wanted to ask you in the last game.
ちゃんとした服も持ってきたつもりだったのよ。
But she was sure she had, but she hadn't. That's why she was standing in the corner, trying not to attract attention.
あなた昼間受付に
Just
いた
check
人
out the
ね。
code.
岡部倫太郎です。東京電機大学の学生で伊崎ゼミで勉強してます。
I handed her one of the business cards that I'd thrown together after Izaki told me I needed them. She grabbed one of her own out of a stack and carelessly put it on my hand.
いいわ、無理に丁寧に話さなくても。
There was a huge chap.
珍しい名前でしょ私。
ああ、
Mako is pretty normal,
誰も
right?
読めないとか言ってたっけ？
I looked at the card and saw the pronunciation of her name was written in unusually large letters. That's probably because how many people keep screwing it up.
沖縄ではよくある名字なんだけれどね。
沖縄出身なのか？
曽祖父と曽祖母がね、移民なのよ。私はアメリカ生まれのアメリカ育ち。
ハーフにはあんまり見えないな。クォーター？
外れ。祖父祖母父母すべて日本人よ。 DNA は生粋のジャパニーズ。
へえ。
What? And then the conversation stopped. I'm a terrible conversationalist, honestly. The old me would have gone full Chunibyo and started ranting about conspiracies and magic powers, whether the other person cared or not. But you can't really call that a conversation. Yep. I had no idea what to say to somebody I've never met before. I've been working at becoming a real adult, even buying and studying math magazines, but none of it really happened. Without anything to talk about, I looked over to Dr. Leskinen. He seemed to be giving a lecture on neurons to a bunch of scientists.
今日はすまなかったな。
何が？
いや、セミナーの途中で邪魔を。
Not really.
ああ、あれね。気にすることないわ。あなたが声を上げなかったら、多分私が同じことをしていたから。許せないの、ああいう人。
いいのか、そんなこと言って。教授が言ってたじゃないか。科学者たるもの、常に冷静にって。
今のは科学者としての発言じゃないわ。だから構わないのよ。
It must have really taken her off because she grabbed a cocktail from a passing waiter and gulped it down. I would enjoy if the waiter look at me and is she legal to drink? Her cheeks turned to a pretty shade of pink for an instant, but no longer. She might have high alcohol tolerance.
だけど、やっぱり良くないわね。反省する。ああいう批判は、言い方こそ悪いけれど、それでも事実には違いないんだもの。私たちの研究がまだ無謀の域から出ていないと言われれば、確かにその通りよ。
そうなのか。
取り組まなくてはいけない課題が山積みだわ。さっきセミナーで話した以上にね。例えば記憶データを元の脳に書き戻すことができても、それを脳が利用できなければ何の意味もないの。
Yep.
記憶があっても思い出せない状態、つまり記憶喪失の脳と同じになってしまう。
Yep. As Mom spoke, I remembered. I remember all the lectures and theories that Carissa had given me when she was making the time machine.
確か人間が記憶にアクセスしようとするときは前頭葉から側頭葉へ信号が行くんだったよな。
ええ、トップダウン記憶検索信号ね。
だったら
Bottom up. Then I started to talk, remembering what Carissa had told me about her theories as I went. When I used specialized terminology, whose meaning I barely remember, Maho would tell me what they were.
で、 最後に側頭葉に記憶を書き戻す過程で一緒にコピーした疑似パルスを前頭葉の方に送り込めば記憶検索信号はちゃんと働くと思う。
クリス。
あなたそれを自分で導き出したの？
ああ、いや。
Maho looked back at the business card I'd given her.
脳科学専攻じゃないわね。ということは誰かに？それとも
やばいやばい。
うん、それはないわ。まだ論文にはまとめられてなかったはず。
何かおかしいこと言ったか？俺。
Exactly what
そうじゃなくて、
クリス said.
私の後輩がね、全く同じ理論を提唱していたことがあるのよ。どのスタッフもずっと懐疑的だったけど、彼女だけは絶対に証明できるって言い張っていたわ。
やばい。
結局実証試験に進む前に彼女はいなくなっちゃったんだけど。
それは
Should I tell her? Should I tell her about me and Kurisu? In this world line, there's almost no connection between me and Kurisu.
どうしたの？
I made up my mind. If I wanted to follow my dream, I needed to act.
実はこの理論クリスからレクチャーされた。
え？今なんて？
マキセ・クリスが教えてくれたんだよ。
クリスがあなたに？いつ？どうして？
彼女がこっちに留学してた時だ。友達になってこういう話をよくした。
Of course, that was a lie. Lucy and I became friends in the Alpha World line, not this one. But a small lie like this was probably okay.
そうだったの。あのクリスが。ありがとう。感謝するわ。
Her words surprised me. There was one thing I didn't expect to hear.
何が？
彼女と友達になってくれてよ。日本に来てたった一人で勉強していてもきっとつまらなかったと思うから。
Nope.
口喧嘩ばっかりだったけどな。
あの子らしいわね。絶対に負けを認めなかったでしょ。
ああ、へりくつばっかりこねていた。ロボトミー手術してあんたの前頭葉を書き出してやるぞとかよく言われたし。
まさかそんなことクリスなら言いそうね。
だろ？ちゃんと後輩の教育をしておいてほしかった。
その点に関しては認めるわ。陳謝します。
Of course, the best friend. She smiled, or so I thought. And then all of a sudden, she started to cry.
どうした？
I didn't have any better ideas, so I grabbed my handkerchief. She seemed to know why she was crying herself. And neither did I. Had I said something during the conversation that set her off?
大丈夫か？
平気よ。ごめんなさい。
She didn't take my handkerchief. Instead, she took a tissue out of her pocket and wiped her eyes.
勇敢なる大佐のアインシュタイン。
I turned around and saw Dr. Luskin smiling and quickly striding towards me. He grabbed my hand as he got closer. The handshake was incredibly forceful. And his hands were as big as bear paws. No, that's not just his hand. Standing in front of me, he looked even bigger than he had during the lecture. I'm pretty tall, but he was at least a head taller than me.
教授、俺、
I think I'll end the stream here because I'm a bit tired, okay? Because just now, so I had another stream with another stream, so I feel like I need some rest, okay? Like today, there's quite a lot of things happen. So I'll see to it. I'll continue playing this, starting every weekend. Maybe around 2 hours. Okay, so today's for an hour and a half, but I'll try to keep it like 2 hours in 1.5 hour minimum at least. Okay, because like if I'm not wrong, it's gonna take around 30 hours to finish it, and I want to get to the bottom of this. Okay, maybe just like in Steins Gate, where I go through all of the routes. Maybe. Okay, so that's the plan with Steins Gate 0. So like I said, this will be my new weekend stream. We'll play until we finish, and then we'll see on how it goes. So with that said, I'll end the stream here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.